Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to the MonaLisa Monroe Morning Show. Grab your coffee or your tea, hunty, because we have a lot to talk about. But before we get started on those red hot topics, please go to my website, www.monalisamonroe.com. We've got t-shirts, we've got mugs, we've got toast. Believe me, we've got you covered. And also, you could purchase my book, Life After the Diagnosis. If you know a survivor or you are a survivor, this is the book that you need. Well, let's go ahead and get this party started right, shall we? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the MonaLisa Monroe Morning Show. Grab your coffee and your tea, hunty, because we have a lot to talk about today, baby. So before we get started, of course, just like the commercial says, grab your coffee and your tea, baby. Come on now. Come on in the room, as they say. Come on in the room. And of course, this show would not be a show if it wasn't for this handsome man of mine. Let me introduce you, or maybe even some of you might just be meeting him. My husband, my rock, my knight in shining armor, my silver fox. Woohoo! Come on in the room, Mr. Dr. Reverend Gary Monroe. Woo! Let's hear it. Let's hear it for the boys. Y'all remember that song? Woo! Let's hear it for the boys.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hello, hello, hello. So,
not a silver fox.
oh, you a silverback.
Silverback.
My bad. We got to get that straight, y'all. We got to get that straight. So, yes. Welcome to the show this morning. We have some red hot topics that I think will take us in the next century. Yes, absolutely. Now,
Good stuff.
before we get into the good, we're going to sort of talk about a few things that everyone's talking about, and then we're going to talk about what we're talking about, okay?
We're talking about.
Yes, sir. So let's talk about, first off, the little stuff that's happening around social media. A San Antonio mother was arrested after leaving her 3 children in a hot car while shopping, police say. Now, I just heard today that another couple went to jail, leaving their children in the car.
Mm-hmm.
This to me is why. Why are we still leaving our children in hot cars? What do you say about that, sir?
I mean, I can't answer the question. You have to ask those people. I mean,
now, I remember I left my children in the car a few times. My mama left me in the car a few times. Don't get me wrong. But leaving them in the car in extreme heat, that was never the situation. It was maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops. Never hours.
In many cases now, that's all it takes. But and it's not just a health issue. We're living certainly in a different time.
Yeah,
when,
that's true. That's true.
Outside of the heat possibilities, right? People back in when you were your day and your mother's day, my parents' day, things were different. Yeah, you might have left the kids in the car to run in the store real quick. Y'all sit here, don't say anything,
real quick,
don't get out of this car,
run in real quick, run out,
back out. But that was a different time,
right?
People are abducting kids now.
True.
What is it? Sex trafficking. That, but then on the heat part,
right?
It's hellaciously hot now.
Is that a word?
It's not a word. I'm making it word.
Hellacious.
But yeah, so with regard to that, now that's where I think the common sense comes in, particularly here in Savannah, Georgia.
It is hot.
And
Humid hot.
You're from Texas.
And
you and I have this debate where what city is the hottest? Dallas or
it's a different type of hot.
Or Savannah.
It's a different type.
It's a different type of hot. I can't deal with the Dallas heat. Right. And you're having trouble with this Savannah heat.
All right. Right.
We're both saying that, well,
good morning, Dave.
Savannah is hotter, Dallas is hotter. So when you just look at those two locations, there's no way humanly possible that an adult should think it be reasonable to leave a child in a car.
Absolutely.
For any length of time.
Because it's so hot.
Yeah.
Why would you leave a young child like that in the car for hours? We're talking about hours.
So that's what happened in San Antonio?
Yeah, it happened in San Antonio, and it happened again today. I heard it today.
Where was that location?
I think they said North Carolina or South Carolina, one of those. I mean, just happened today. People are continually leaving their children in a hot vehicle. And it's like, why?
I wonder what's the national average.
Dave says absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you know the numbers on that?
No.
Yeah. Why are you talking? I wonder what's the national average of
craziness across the board.
Kids,
being left in the vehicle.
Dying in the consequence of being left in the vehicle.
Oh my gosh. It's just crazy.
I'm gonna look this up while you go ahead.
Yeah, so for me, like I say, I'm guilty of it, but back in the day, I don't even know if it was just that hot or what, but I never left my kids in the car for hours. I mean, hours, maybe about 5 or 10 minutes. You jump in, you jump out, whatever, you go get the gas or whatever, but never hours. That is ridiculous. Just hours. So that's red hot number one. So
let me give you the numbers.
Okay.
Right. And I guess this is an AI overview.
Oh yeah, AI. Come on now.
But it reads on average 37 to 40 children die from heat stroke in a hot car each year in the United States.
Wow.
In 2023, 29 children died. And as of June 2024, 9 deaths had been reported. And listen to this. In 2018 and 2019, there were record numbers of deaths with 53 children dying each year.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Ridiculous. So, Queen T. Alexander, welcome to the show. She said good morning. Yes, ma'am. It's already 98. Exactly.
Where is she from?
We need resilience hubs in our community. Where are you from, Queen Tay? Where are you from, girl? Hey, good morning, Sharon. Good morning. Good morning. We are talking about these folks leaving their children in a hot vehicle. Red hot number one. What do you think about this situation? People leaving their children in hot vehicles, not for 5 minutes, not for 10 minutes, but we're talking for hours. For hours. Welcome to the show, Sharon. Welcome to the show, Queen Tay. Now, this is the part that I'm just like, I'm guilty of it now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting up here trying to act self-righteous, but never hours. Good morning. Welcome to the show, Carol. Hello, hello. We are talking about parents leaving their children in the car for hours. What in the world? I thought we were over with this. I mean, just done. Once you hear about one child dying in the car.
Well, I guess I'm wondering if people think it just won't happen to them. Or I'm just going to leave the air conditioning on, car running or something to that effect.
Yeah, but somebody might steal the car.
Yeah. So I'm just
You
gonna
can't
be
leave the
here.
air on.
Well, I don't know if it's even being left in the car
Golly.
for hours.
Mm.
Because we're talking about kids.
My
So
Lord.
you're talking about, children. I don't know what age, so I have to look at the research and see what's the age.
Absolutely.
Range, because if we're talking about 2, 3-year-olds.
Yeah, we're talking about, yes. They're never like
sure,
10.
Right. I'm pretty sure it doesn't take that long.
You
know what I mean?
Lord have mercy.
These kids not being left in the car for hours. We're talking about 5, 10, 15 minutes. And they are experiencing these heat strokes.
5, 10, 15 minutes. Exhaustion. That's what it says?
I mean, I don't know how long. I mean, we have to do the research to see what's, the time frame that these kids are being left in the car.
Hours.
Listen.
That's what they have record that it's hours.
Well, if they're leaving a kid in the car for hours, no pun intended or anything. I mean,
we're not going to even go there then. If you got to start it with that.
They were either contemplating driving that child over a bridge.
Oh, Lord.
Or leave them in the car. I cannot see
my Lord.
An adult sitting there thinking that it's okay to leave a child in a car for an hour, and they do not have an ulterior motive.
I'm telling you right now, the case that was earlier this year that I had on this show, this woman went shopping because she didn't want to have her child worrying her during her shopping.
Okay,
and her child came up there.
Let's analyze that. She doesn't want her child worrying her.
Right, while
she's
shopping.
Aggravated with her child.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm believing that she left her child in that car intentionally
to die. Good gracious alive. Good morning, Sharon. It's simply unacceptable. Absolutely, it's unacceptable. So that's Red Hot number 1. You guys leave a comment, click like, and share the show. We are just getting started. That's just the precursor. Second red hot topic is number 2. Boomers are leaving America to retire abroad in droves because the U.S. is just too expensive. Boomers. Are we boomers? No, we're Gen Zs, right?
That's
X.
That's the parents' generation.
They're leaving the U.S. because it's too expensive. Now, I ain't even gonna lie. I thought when I was first reading it that they're leaving the U.S. because of the madness that is happening here. Politics, religion, everything is going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So at first, before I even read further, I was like, oh my gosh, they are leaving because of the madness. Now, my son was like, I'm good. And he lives overseas. And he's like, y'all figure it out and maybe I'll come back.
Well, when you look at the blue collar worker, few are making a living above the cost of living. People are right there teetering that borderline, on that borderline of working, paycheck to paycheck. Right. Because of the cost of living.
Right.
Now, you're talking about people that's in the workforce. Now we're talking about boomers, people who retired and who are living on a fixed income.
Right. Right.
So
and it can get expensive. So before you become homeless, you live abroad. Now, I've had to research now. When I heard abroad, I'm like thinking, where? Well, the story goes on and it has a boomer moving to Thailand, right? The boomer is in Thailand living like they're living like they are famous over there because the dollar here over the dollar there is like a lot. The dollar here is a lot there. You're right.
2-1.
So
Thailand,
baby. When I tell you they have the baddest house and they are living their best life. Now they have to get used to the food. They have to get used to the culture. But this boomer headed out. Good morning, Eric. How you doing, sir? Sharon, yes, indeed. I'm in the process of applying for my passport. Baby, come on. You better come on here because I want to leave, especially if our country falls to dictatorship, not because of the economy. Come on, girl. You are not the only one. Queen Alexander. Now y'all are Gen Zs. Thank you, girl. Help us. Help us out, girl. Help us out. This is Gen Zs. Awesome sauce. Trish, what's up, girl? I ain't seen you in a minute. Good morning. Welcome to the show. I know I started a little late, but when we get started, I'm sure you're gonna know why. Okay. Okay. So, hit me up. Click like and share the show. I can't talk this morning. I'm so excited. Drop some comments. Look, I'm on fire this morning. Y'all, red hot number one. Why are they leaving children in the car and they ended up dead? Why? Red hot number two. Boomers are jumping ship, leaving the country because it's too expensive. Or what my girl said, she said she's getting out here because of the madness, if anything. So I feel you. Now, red hot number three. Oh, woo, 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 woo. Red hot number three. All y'all married folk, listen up. All y'all single folk, listen up. Okay, so this is how we gonna preface this. Miserable married people are sharing the main reasons why they choose being unhappy in their relationship over getting a divorce. Let me repeat that question. Miserable married people
it's like that.
are sharing the main reasons why they choose being unhappy in their relationship over getting a divorce. All right, people, let's jump right in. As Tabitha Brown says, let's get into it. All right, these are the reasons why these folk are staying in a broken marriage. These are the reasons.
Clear your throat.
Sex. You ain't getting it or it ain't good enough. Kids. If it's a blended family, the spouses aren't getting along with the kids. Politics. Believe it or not, people are divorcing because the party lines are taking over the marriage. So these are the
reasons why people are getting divorced.
These are the reasons why they are either staying or leaving. Okay, let's get it straight. These are the reasons why they're either staying or leaving. These are the reasons, because we don't know why they're leaving or why they're staying, but the marriage overall is miserable. That's the point. That's the point. You're in a bad marriage, so you're either leaving or you're staying, and these are the reasons why.
So what we're going to be talking about is why they are staying.
We're going to be talking about why they're staying and why they're leaving. We're going to be, because the point, the main thing is it's a bad marriage. That's the whole thing. You understand?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So people are staying in a marriage, in a miserable marriage, because of the sex being good,
or just having familiarity with that partner.
Right.
I would say.
Right. Or they just don't want to branch out and into the unfamiliar.
Right.
Right.
So,
right.
They don't want to start over again.
Good morning, Debbie.
Having new emotions, new ties, or whatever.
Right.
So, it's hey, I'd rather stay in this, and
right.
At least I know the person.
At least I know the person. So you're staying in a miserable marriage because of
familiarity.
The familiarity of the sex.
We got you.
All right. So, or you're staying because of the kids. And that's a reason why the majority of the women decide to stay, because of the kids. They, is that a good thing? We're not here to judge. I'm just giving you the facts. This is the reason why people are staying in miserable marriages.
Well, in some cases, it's mutual with a couple, husband and wife, to say, well, we'll just for the sake of the kids.
For the sake of the kids.
This until the last one goes off to university, gets out of high school,
right?
Whatever.
Right.
For the sake of the kid.
For the sake of the children.
Right.
So this is the reason why people are staying in miserable marriages. Sex, kids, politics.
Now, how does politics factor into why someone would stay into a marriage? I can see that being a reason why people
would leave a miserable marriage,
because politics is so, on edge right now. Politics is to be in the house, with one being a Democrat
and one being a
Republican. That's worse than somebody living in. Somebody is a bulldog and somebody is a Florida Gator. You know what I mean? You don't understand that. In some political households, you're from Dallas.
Right.
So what's the two universities there that is like water and oil? Texas and Oklahoma.
Yeah, Texas and Oklahoma is water and oil in college.
Right.
But NFL, Dallas.
Well, I'm talking about it's stronger in college.
In college,
because it's like here, there is no love lost between Georgia fans and Florida fans. So when you have one living in the house who's a Georgia fan and one who's a Florida fan, that's a fight.
That's a fight.
But guess what? After the game, it's all love.
Okay.
But with politics now so on edge.
Yeah.
One person is a Democrat.
One person is Democrat.
One person is
the other one's a Republican.
I mean, it's causing
some conflict. And
marriage.
it shouldn't. Absolutely. Yeah. Trish, sometimes it's not healthy for the children to see the unhealthy marriage. Absolutely. Patricia, good morning. Jenny, what's up, girlfriend? So we're talking today about why people decide to stay in a miserable marriage. And one of the reasons is sex. The other one is kids, politics, and finances. Now, you're staying in a miserable marriage because he's making the money or she's making the money.
Or both are making the money and it provides you financial stability.
Or both, right. Or both are making the money and they don't. What does they say? It's cheaper to keep her.
Right. And that's okay. Right now, it used to be it's cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper to keep them, to stay with them.
Right.
Respect or regard.
Right.
So, but I see you have here sex,
politics, true,
finances, and religion. I think the reason why they stay in it, I could see sex, kids, finances, and religion. But I can't see no one staying in it because of hey, you never know.
You never know, especially now.
We need the Republican Party to win. We need the Democratic Party to win.
Man, please.
But I could see it makes understandable. I'm not saying it makes sense, but it's understandable why people would
stay in a miserable marriage.
Because of familiarity.
They don't want to branch out into the unfamiliar.
Right. Or
kids.
having to say be over 40, over 50, and now you're having to try to at that age.
Try to start all over.
Yeah, you're starting over with and it's not just about the dating as much as it's about formulating feelings and emotions and all of those things all over again.
Right.
And the trust factor in that.
Yeah.
So some people fix in their minds, you know what?
I'm just might as well say
we're bad husband. No, we're bad husband, bad wife. We're not a good husband, good wife, not a good couple. It's not this, it's not that. The sex is good. So we can block out.
We can block out everything
all that
else.
Other stuff. And but then
bad marriage for life is what Will and Jada said.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But Debbie, you took the words out of my mouth. It's cheaper to keep her, is what they used to say. Absolutely, girl. Absolutely. So religion is a reason why they're staying. Don't know too much about that part, but Location.
Because of their beliefs.
Oh, got you. If we're both Christian, then we're going to believe.
No matter what they're Christian,
right?
No matter what the belief is, true. They may have some strict religious belief that states that
they're not going to divorce.
Till death do us part.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Location. You are here in Georgia, and
well, I think again that goes back to the stability part.
Yeah.
Location in essence to having to go now. Somebody has to leave the house.
Yeah, true.
You know, so now it's finding another house, apartment,
right,
townhome, or something to that effect.
Right. Good morning, BJ.
So all of those things, family traditions, all of those things.
A family, traditions, time and relationship.
Now, I find that interesting.
We've been married for 20 plus years, and we might as well stay together.
Got too much time in this, you know.
Might as well stay together.
I've invested too much time for somebody else to come along.
Yeah.
And reap the final benefit.
Absolutely. You know? Tam, good morning. Fear, abuse, and the fear of starting over and abuse. So these are the reasons why people decide to stay.
Yeah.
I would love you guys to drop a comment about this, because this is a topic. You know, this is a topic in marriage. I believe in marriage, and I love marriage, and I always felt like you can work through anything when both parties are willing to work through it. So a miserable marriage, though, you know, that's just a miserable one.
You know, that's more than saying that marriages have ups and downs.
Yes,
that's more than saying, okay, marriages have ups and downs, just like everything.
Right.
You know.
Right.
You know, quote unquote, waking up on the wrong side of the bed. But
now, me and my hubby
saying miserable. That's on a whole nother level.
Me and my husband had a conversation, and we were talking about deal breakers, right? Deal breakers are huge.
Right.
Deal breakers in the dating phase is huge. And I think this is a topic that, you know, we're not counselors or anything.
Yes.
But
we are.
Okay, well, yeah. We are counselors. Sorry. We're counselors. So we want to reach out and help relationships in this moment on this show. Okay. We sort of started with the first two red hots to get started in this one. Okay. So now we're putting on our counselor hats because this is an issue that is real and it's happening it's happening a lot.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what culture you're in. It doesn't matter what color you are, whatever. Divorce is huge. And so we're saying why? Okay, so here we go. Deal breakers. So this is a woman's point of view.
No, just your deal breakers.
Oh, okay. Oh, whoa.
What are deal breakers?
Okay, so for me, number one deal breaker is you gotta be a believer in Christ. Okay, that's just a number one deal breaker for me. So if you're not a believer in Christ, no, right? Number two, you have to have a caring and considerate heart. A lot of people are nice. A lot of people are polite. But a caring, concerning heart comes out in the least expected moments. It's the little things. Like, for instance, let me give you an example. If someone is walking and they see trash in the street, pick it up and throw it in the trash can. To me, that's being considerate. No one told them to. It was just something that they've done. Another example, a turtle. A turtle is on the side of the road, and it's a baby turtle or adult turtle. And then they're on the side of the road, and you plainly see that there is a a grass patch on the side, and there's a highway on the other side. You're going to notice the turtle. You're going to put the turtle in the grass because you already know if the turtle goes left, it's going to get hit by a car.
Now
I'm just saying.
Let's give the people. You say you keep it real. Let's give the people. Well, let's give the people some real talk. So you're saying consideration. So
consideration.
That's what a person has to have. So
yes.
Obviously, I had to have some type of degree of consideration. So
right.
What's an example of
you?
Me being considerate?
Okay.
To you or what you have observed?
Absolutely. Hey, Monica, Reverend Monica. Okay, hold on. Let me holler at my folk. Hold on. Hey, girl. Adrian, hey. Okay. Mm-hmm. When we were dating, I'm going to tell you what sealed the deal for me and you. Okay.
Let's hear this.
And this, I stay real 100. Okay. I stay 100. Okay.
Go 100.
So when we were talking on the phone, we were dating, right? And you were telling me how you took care of your mother, your father, and your grandfather in their later years. Mm-hmm. That to me touched my heart and told me that you were considerate and caring, because that's not in everybody to take care of their adults, parents, grandparents, or whatever. It's a special person that does that.
Now, I understand what you're saying, but that's just amazing that would be hard for someone to do or believe.
You will be shocked how many people put their parents, their grandparents in a home somewhere and they don't take care of them. Adrian, good morning. Jenny, if someone says one deal breaker is the turtle, my boys each in the last 2 weeks moved the turtle to safety. I think that's considerate. Boys, absolutely. Your boys have a big heart because I'm serious. Yeah. So that was okay. Number one, religion. Number two, considerate. And then number three, last but not least, how you treat me.
Okay.
You got to treat me with care because I'm a woman.
That's right.
I'm a feminine.
All
woman. And you got to treat
me being a woman.
Absolutely. Every bit of it. So you got to treat me like a woman. Okay. Yeah. Those are the three. Okay. Your turn.
And and I guess
don't let them get out of it. Y'all.
Yeah. And I guess and I'm gonna go back. Use what you just said. The fact that you love being a woman, because that's a big draw. A woman that loves being a woman in every essence. Character, conduct, deportment, her talk, her tonation, her walk, everything about her essence. She loves being a woman. I often say, I didn't marry you to be my husband, my buddy, my mama. Married you to be my wife in every sense of that, in that word. But to a deal breaker, which is important, a woman who loves being a female, feminine, loves femininity. Yeah. I mean, people are texting. Well, it could be people texting. It could be people texting.
Y'all, okay, look here. Whoever's texting him, come on the show. Okay, come on the show. Okay, go ahead.
These might be my people. I have a few followers.
You got some followers.
Yes, everybody loves MonaLisa, but
you got some followers.
There might be a few people that cool with money. Gary. So on the joking side, I remember, when I was introduced to you, and they were telling me about all of your character traits. She's a woman of God. She's this. She's all of that.
No, you're not.
And I said,
no, you're not.
Listen, man.
No, you're not.
I don't care how much a woman of God she is. She is speaking all the language and tongues of the world. I said, but is she sassy? they see Jazz.
Oh gosh.
Does she possess some vibe, some energy? Can she take a room just by her very presence? And I said, because I can save her. So while salvation was important to her, salvation wasn't important to me.
Babe, oh my land. Will you be serious right now?
Seriously.
We're trying to help people.
I am helping because for some people, you got to get past the eye candy. And now we can move into some of the more intrinsic qualities of a person, right? So now, two things, and my dad always said, and one, my mom said. So my dad always would say, listen, I'm the Bible scholar, right? But he said this right here. If you don't work, you don't eat.
Okay.
Right? If a man doesn't work, a man doesn't eat.
Okay.
So he says, because of that, that means you got to go to work.
Okay.
So he says, if you cannot go to work and you wondering what she's doing, you don't need her. Right? That's the first thing. You don't need her. You don't need to take her to go see mama, grandmama, big mama. You don't need to take her to go see aunties. You don't need to go take her to see any other woman. If you cannot go to work as a man, you're wondering what and if she is doing, you don't need her. Okay. Secondly, he would say, if you got to fight her, you don't need her. If you got to fight this woman, if you always arguing with this woman, contentious woman, listen, man, you don't need her. And you don't need anybody to tell you that you don't need her. I'm telling you, just like my father told me, if you got to fight her, you don't need her. The third thing was what my mom always said. When we were coming up, my dad not only made us go outside, cut grass, hedges. My brother, he probably will come on here and say, well, that joker didn't have to do nothing because he was the oldest. He had to do everything. But no, we had to do chores, manly boy chores, right? So then when you got through with that, you come in the house. My mom said, okay. My mom wanted her house dust every day. We had to vacuum the house every day. We had to clean my mom's house every day. How many of y'all remember those good old days during the summertime when you had chores and responsibilities that they had to be done before your parents got home? Now, with that being said, my mom, I remember saying to my mom, I'm gonna get there. Hey, I'm talking about deal breakers. I'm giving you my deal breakers. I'm giving you. Did you come? You coding. You told me to be real. Are you fighting? Are you fighting? You want to fight? So about coding. The first one is if I can't trust you. Okay. If I can't go. That's to work, number one. If I can't trust you, then hey, I don't need you. Right? Okay. If you're a fighter, I don't need you. Okay, that's number two. You see what I'm saying? If you're a contentious woman, I don't need you. Okay. So now the point that I'm making with regard to my mom, my mom said, when I complained about coming in the house, why should I have to wash dishes? Why should I have to vacuum and do all these things? And my mom said, her old Claudette way back in the day, because listen, these heifers these days are not going to want to cook, clean, and keep house. And you're going to need to learn how to cook, clean, and keep house for yourself. So that's number three deal breaker. So number three deal breaker for me, because my mom always kept an immaculate home. Okay. Is there's no way possible I can live with a woman that does not want to, does not know how to, and does not care to keep a house. A clean house. A clean house. Now, I'm not speaking from a traditional mindset of your place is in the kitchen and your place is to cook, clean, and do these things. But a woman should have a degree of cleanliness about herself. Because, and I said this to you the other day. I came in the house the other day, and you do keep home. We have a beautiful home. You see, and I came in and I said, Dom, it just smelled like a woman. I told a young man on my job, I said, man, there's nothing like as a man, walking into your home and you smell the presence of a woman. You sense the presence of a woman. You feel the presence of a woman. You can't get that in a clean, dirty, messy, sloppy home.
Okay.
Yeah. And to me, and I shared that with you, to me, a woman that does not keep home is like a man that won't go to work that's laying up on a woman. And I equated that to that.
So to narrow it down for you, deal breaker number one is,
like I said,
trust. Yeah, deal breaker number two is,
what was it? Said so much. What did I say?
Deal breaker.
Yeah. Contentious woman. I don't, the word of God even speaks of that. It's better for a man to live on the corner of a rooftop than in a wide house with a contentious woman. Mm-hmm. And we're not talking about bickering. Mm-hmm. It's two different things.
Bickering.
We're talking about contentious
and complaining.
Contentious is you contend
with everything.
Everything.
Got it.
Everything. There's up, no, down, right, no, left, go, no, stay. It's like,
so in the counseling session here, we're basically saying that singles, as well as, we're talking about the dating phase. So in the dating, let me catch up. Folks was talking to me. Hold on. Good morning, Fiend. What's going on, girl? Jenny, I make my sons help clean outside and inside the home. Girl, good. Debbie, you look lost. Jenny, I tell my kids the same. Some of the females are dirty and can't cook. Oh, Jenny, my boys are young men, not kids. Absolutely. Number two, nonviolent. He didn't want fight his woman. Oh, she's giving you number two. Thank you, Jenny. Brother. I love you, Jenny. Tanya, good morning. So,
but that's one of the, and let me say this, dog, that a lot of people on Mother's Day, we go to churches around the nation and we hear Proverbs 31 being preached to encourage women. But a lot of people don't realize that Proverbs 31 was not written for women. It was written for a man by a woman. It was the words of a mother to her son who was to be a king. And if you're going to be a good king, this is what you're going to need. And of course, she spoke of the qualities of a king. But then the next thing she said, you're going to need a virtuous woman. And the number one quality trait of that virtuous woman is she looks well to the ways of her household.
Right. And so to break that down, you're taking care of your home.
Right.
And it's also in scripture that a woman can tear it down or she could build it up. So that's in there, that's in there. So in the dating phase, let's just narrow this thing down. In the dating phase, if you have
Blunt, what's happening?
Hey.
Somebody say, hey, what's up, Gary?
Yeah. Okay.
One
go back. So in the dating phase, if you have deal breakers and not if it's serious for you, these are like deal breakers. I think you need to stick to those deal breakers, because once you get married and that deal breaker pops up,
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? At that point, you're married, and then here we are again, going back to this question, why stay in a miserable marriage? Well, some people are staying in the miserable marriage because they didn't take heed to the deal breakers and they feel like now they're stuck. But again, a marriage can always come back to life. I believe it can. If it's two people who want it,
that's it.
That's the thing.
It has to be.
If it's both people investing in this marriage and wanting this marriage and willing to give and take in some areas, I think it could make it. Now, We're not talking about abuse and we're not talking about all of that because that's a whole different realm. But we're talking about wanting a divorce because he didn't squeeze the toothpaste right, or she didn't close the shower curtain, all of this kind of stuff. We're talking about stuff that may be huge to you, but need to be talked out in therapy. Now, therapy. I believe in therapy. Do you believe in therapy?
Yes. Let me say this with regards to premarital therapy. And just as a summation, sitting down with couples, and most ministers or premarital therapy or counseling,
hey, Cedric,
people would ask the question to a woman, what type of husband you always wanted? And they will have a long list of things that they're looking for in a man. Like why? They'll ask the man, what is that you'll look for in a wife will make you a happy man? And they have a list of things. I don't ask that question.
What do you ask?
The question that I ask is, what type of wife you always wanted to be? Right? What type of husband did you always wanted to be?
Right.
Now, wife, do you think this man would allow you the best platform for you to be the type of wife you wanted to be?
Right. Right.
And then you ask the guy, do you think this woman would allow you to be
the best
type of husband
that you can be?
No. That you always wanted to be.
Oh, that you wanted to be.
You're putting out on the table the type of husband you want to be.
Oh, got it.
This is the type of husband I want to be. Well,
so you're striving to be that person, not the person that she wants.
No, the concept is that I'm not then necessarily looking for my happiness to come from you. My happiness is fulfilled in me fulfilling the type of husband I always wanted to be. So I took a lot of great characters and qualities of my father and my mother's relationship, and I was like, man, that's the type of husband I want to be. Men that I've looked up to, Deacon Oliver Cooper, Deacon Willie Winters, all of these men, Mr. Ed Williams. I looked at all of these different men that I took parts of their lives. My Uncle Robbie, my Uncle Eddie, and some were funny, some were laughable, some were this, some were that. Even my Uncle Mike, he's a fun character. He cooks, he cleans, he's that uncle, right? But you can take something from every man and say, I want to apply this to my life, and I want to be this type of husband. So now I'm married to you, or I meet you. Will this woman give me the best platform to be the type of husband I want to be?
Okay, so
make it easier for me.
Quick question. So we have women out there. Hey, good morning. Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning, Octavia. So we have women out there, right? And they say that I would like my husband to be ABC. But you're saying in a counseling session, be the wife that you think you would want to be in a marriage.
Right.
Strive for that. Okay.
Because that better allows you to then match with what you want in a man.
Okay. So let's play with it a little bit, because in some incidences, I have talked to quite a bit of women, and in their mind, they are saying, I am trying to be this type of woman or wife in my marriage. Now, if you have a man that does not match or coincide, collaborate with that woman who you're trying to become, then that's not your dude. Or, because think about it, if he's striving to be the best husband that he wants to be, and she's trying to be the best wife or woman that she wants to be, where is the connection on each other coming together in counseling? How would you say that?
The operative word here is premarital counseling.
Right.
Okay. So now the scenario that you just gave is, I wonder whether it's consequent or subsequent to someone who is already married. Okay.
No, we're talking about premarital dating arena.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
no, you gave it. You said you know some people that are in a marriage and they're trying to be and do all that
They're
a
wanting.
woman
I'm sorry, they're wanting
to do,
wanting
but
marriage.
the husband is not reciprocating or whatever. So that person is, you have to approach that differently because they are already in the marriage.
No, they're wanting to be married.
Or they're wanting to be married.
They're wanting to be married.
There go your deal breakers. You know, if you are engaged with the person and you want to be this type of wife, and you know,
and he wants to be this type of husband,
and it's not
coming together.
He's not gelling with the type of wife you want to be. Well, you're getting, I don't want to say red flags, but you know what you're getting into.
Okay, now let's play with it on this end. What if you never had an example of a good wife or a good husband, right? You have looked at movies, you have talked to angry women, angry men, so you don't have a healthy, good example of a wife or a husband.
Well, listen, not everybody had an ideal upbringing and a good example of what it means to be a husband, what it means to be a wife. Some people came out of those situations and used just the opposite to formulate what they wanted to be.
Yeah.
So they saw the negative and said, I'll never be that.
Right.
Type of man like that.
Right.
I don't want to be a husband like that. And so they were able to formulate, I'm not going to be that type of husband.
Right.
I'm going to be this type of husband. So irrespective of you never had the good example, again, these are intrinsic qualities. These are intrinsic observations that you make on yourself. Because whether you had a good example or not, you want to be married. The question is, what type of wife you want to be.
And so I'm just saying, maybe they don't know.
If you do know, because you say, okay, one woman say, hey, I like to party. I like to party. I like to go get it in. I like to just have a good time, but I want to be married. So you want then, and I'm not advocating for this. So you want someone who's going to allow you. When I say allow, I'm not talking about let you be this,
like
let
permission.
You do that. We're talking about who's going to allow, who's going to give you the best platform and position to be all that you want to be. Is what you want, regardless of whether it being good or bad, is what you want, right? Out of, as a woman, to be type of wife. And same thing.
Okay, so
for the guy,
we got some folks that's coming on going, okay, what are we talking about? Okay, so
you went a little further than we intended to go.
This is what we this morning we touched on a few red hots, but then
this to run over your topic.
I know, right? So the first red hot was parents leaving their children in vehicles and the children ended up dead. What are your thoughts on that? Why is this still happening? Why are we still leaving children in cars and they end up dead? That's
in
red.
Savannah, Georgia,
and a lot of people
in Texas,
a lot, yeah. So that's the red hot number one. Red hot number two is studies are showing that boomers are leaving America, gone to retire abroad because of the expensive economy here in the U.S. And one of the viewers said it's not even about the economy. The politics of it all and the madness was making me go renew my passport. That's number two.
And so you gave an example of a married couple moved to Thailand.
Yes,
and I looked at the exchange rate, and I think it says 36-1.
See, you spend $1, you're a rich man over there. You're a rich woman over there. So yeah, they're leaving and using their retirement paychecks so they can live.
Right.
Live large. Okay.
Live that life.
Yeah, living the life.
Just live that comfortable retired life.
Yeah, that you don't have to stress.
And in many other countries, healthcare is whether they will be able to qualify for it or not because they are not a citizen of that country. But in a lot of countries, healthcare is provided for seniors
for free.
For free.
So, yeah. So that's red hot number 2. Red hot number 3, Rev, was miserable married people. Miserable married people are sharing the main reasons why they choose being unhappy in their relationship over getting a divorce. And the things were amazing.
Monica said, I agree.
The
politics would make poor people.
Not poor, but poor. Okay.
Can't even afford the other.
Absolutely. So
get out of Dodge.
The third red hot was about people staying in a miserable marriage and what the reasons were. Okay. So this was very, very interesting to me and my husband because we were like, wow, let's talk a little bit about that because we know married people. We know married people, and we're curious to see what that conversation was. And what I came up with was deal breakers. I think deal breakers are really huge. And I don't think we really focus on things like that because by the time you're married, I hate to say you're stuck, but I mean that's when you start that. Yeah, I mean that's what you chose. Hey, Rodrika, good morning. So again, red hot number 3, miserable,
not just unhappy,
miserable,
unsatisfied,
miserable. Married people are sharing the main reason why they choose being unhappy in their relationship over getting a divorce. And the reason was number 1, sex, number 2, kids, 3, politics, 4, finances, 5, religion, 6, location, 7, family, 8, traditions, 9, time in relationship. I've been married 25 years. Abuse and fear of starting over. These are the reasons people are saying it's cheaper to keep her. Them ain't my kids, but yet, hey, I mean, I don't know. I'm just reading what the answers were. So, of course, to me, this is where the deal breaker comes in. If you know you don't want a blended family, why compromise? Because that blended family is going to be in that house for a good 18 years.
Right. But if the child, if you're dealing with someone with young kids.
Yeah. Right. So you're going to be dealing with outsiders. You're going to be dealing with outsiders.
Even so, if you're dealing with meeting someone and they have adult children, you're still going to have to deal with those adult children.
You think?
Absolutely.
Why do you think that?
If I'm a man marrying you, you have older sons.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to deal with your sons. Now, I'm not talking about raising them or whatever. But there's a degree, particularly with older sons. I want to know that this man is taking care of my mother. He's caring for my mother. And I'm not talking about deal with them from a negative perspective.
Well,
your children are still in your life. Well, and some parental relationships are good and some of them are not bad. So if you meet someone that does not have a good relationship with their children and say, I'm a man and, the children are cussing and fussing with their mother, that's going to be hard for me to sit there.
Just sit there and take that.
Take it.
Well, that's true. That's true.
So, you still have to deal with the dynamic. But, I don't know how much longer we got, but as a summation for me, with regard to this, one of the topics is religion. And you spoke of certainly that religion or a man having to be a man of God was, or he not being one, is a deal breaker.
Right.
So religion is paramount.
Right.
Relationship with God. I want to address something quickly about marriage and divorce, because in other words, some people stay in marriages because of religion.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, that's true.
Now, because I don't want to say it's a misunderstanding or misconstruing of the word of God, that people would say, well, God hates divorce, so you got to stay in this marriage. You know, the word, your vow was to death do us part. You got to stay in this marriage. Okay. God has given us the spirit of reconciliation, so all marriages can be healed. You got to reconcile. So you got to stay in the marriage. However, the word of God says that Jesus said God allowed Moses to write a letter of divorcement, right? Because of the hardness of your hearts. But from the beginning, it was not so. Okay. He allowed Moses to write and establish the principle and the law of divorce because the hearts of many were waxed cold. And so when a heart waxed cold, then that's indicative that the spirit of reconciliation is not there. It's not there. And so one should not be encouraged to endure,
keep pushing
a relationship
when it's over
that is not beneficial or advantageous to either the party, and particularly if there are young kids involved in the household. To say, and as you alluded, the parents make a decision to say, we're going to stick this out until the kids, but the kids are enduring this.
The kids,
right?
they know, they see it. Right. You think they don't hear it. And believe me, they
say this and turn your show back over. And they see it and they feel it and they sense it. And they sense the inherent intangibles.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom saying to me, she and my dad made a determination that they were not going to be concerned in giving us the things they did not have. They were going to focus on giving us the things they did have.
Right.
You know, character and those things, those inherent intrinsic things. We're going to give them those. So oftentimes we'll stay together for the sake of the kids to ensure that they have the things we didn't have. But in the process of time, we are not giving them the things we did have, which was love, respect, you see, integrity, character.
And if you're fussing all the time, it's like all of that goes out the window.
It goes out the window. So
Roderick, a parent, always a parent. We you know what? We said that the other day. We said that. You just move into where are we? You just move into a different need as a parent, and adult children will want to be concerned for who their parent is with. Right. Rev, listen, 42 years in on yesterday. Congratulations, happy anniversary. But we have had deal breakers and stayed. Oh, that's good. That's good.
And stayed.
Did she say that? Yeah. We've been miserable and stayed. Wow, Rev. We've had a whole lot of life to life and still choose to stay. Wow, that's deep right there. We are people of character and Christians who choose to prove God can and will. So at the end of the day, it's not a quick fix, but God is able. Sometimes we have to learn to wait on God to produce good fruit. Ooh, Rev, you always deep, girl.
But I think in that, it still takes two to come to that consensus.
Can you say that, Rev? Can you say both of you have always been on the same page? Would you say that? Get some biblical counseling for your marriage and buy my book, Love Changes.
I guess that.
But Rev, were you and your husband always on the same page when the deal breakers broke? You know what I'm saying? Because I was thinking that two people would always have to be on the same page in order to make it want to work. The good Lord, that we are out of time.
I think the same page is and
wanting the marriage,
making it laughable. Girl, I ain't going nowhere.
Oh,
you need to go sit your behind down.
We need to work this out.
We're not on the same page today. I ain't feeling you. Hey, you might as well. Hey, I don't want to hear about this today. I'm not feeling you. I'm not thinking about you. Listen,
look, go down the corner.
But at the same token,
cool
hey, you better go sit your behind down. The question, it never comes up. So I think
that part.
Yeah. So while we may not be on the same page about the cares, concerns, and the vicissitudes of life,
but we
are
still
on the same page as far as saying
love each other.
You better go sit down somewhere. What you need to do? Where you going at?
Yeah, look, I'm going to
I'm about to go around the corner.
Wait,
go sit your behind.
Babe, tell the people what you said. If we were to have a spat, and I told you that you in the doghouse.
Oh,
wait,
man,
tell the people what you say about being in the doghouse.
I don't have a dog.
I
don't have a dog. Listen, girl, I got a king size bed. You better roll on them on the other side. And listen,
we don't believe. Look,
dog house.
We gonna both stay up.
Listen,
he gonna go to sleep. Look,
I'm going to sleep. I'm not trying to solve it.
Y'all,
no, you
wait,
me. You talking about a dog house?
He told me one time.
The couch.
Okay, look.
House?
Okay, look. He
told me. Only way I'll sleep on the couch is if I'm drunk.
And he
don't
drink.
drink. So hey,
look. He told me one time, y'all. I was going off. He said, "Look, when you finish going up your roller coaster and you start coming down, then we can talk."
I'll be right here.
He gonna be right there. What after I go up and then my way down?
In fact, I put her on the roller coaster. I like, hey, look here. This is what we're gonna do right here. You're gonna get on this roller coaster and you're gonna take a ride. Now, when you get to the top, that's when you start screaming and shout. When you get all your screaming and shouting out, you come on back down.
And when you come on back down, right here, we gonna be right there.
There ain't gonna be no screaming and shouting down here on this platform now. Dog ain't gonna hunt.
Boy, I tell you what. All right. Great show. Deb, I know that's right. Rodrika, right. Absolutely not. Absolutely. Y'all, thank you so much for tuning in to the MonaLisa Monroe Morning Show. It's about to be noon on us, okay? Thank y'all for tuning in. And please click like and share the show. Leave a comment. I promise we always go back through and look at your comments and even address your comments. I thank you so much. Click like and share the show.
What's happening, Tanya?
Hey,
Davis.
Get on back and check the show out. If you missed it, replay. If you want to replay it anyway, it anyway. Other than that, you want to say goodbye to the folks?
But I'm just glad I had one person to say, hey, Gary.
Oh, my land.
I feel special today.
Oh, he's feeling special. Y'all, thank y'all. We're going to see
you for having me on this show.
Okay, bye-bye. Yeah.